Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to Yakim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled World War III is not a possibility, it's an actuality. Alright, or it could be World War III is not a possibility, it's a certainty. Alright, something along those lines. I just have actuality here for the time being. But this comes, from a brother's post. The brother GMS Dedication. He posted this from the Hill, talking about, this article. NATO admiral warns of potential all-out war with Russia. And this was posted yesterday. Well, you can't see it because I have the praise, the praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai going along this bar down here. But it's currently, today's the 20th, so this was released on January 19th, 2024, which was yesterday at about 10:48 a.m. Eastern time. And I saw it and I said, it's been a while since we touched on World War III, so let's go ahead and get it. All right, and the brother basically just posted an excerpt of, what the article's talking about. So just wanted to give a shout out to that brother, for posting this article, or else I wouldn't have seen it. So we just got it right here. We went ahead and just got the website again. So shout out to that brother, give him credit where credit's due. That's how it was brought to my attention. So, right here, the Hill, NATO admiral, I think I said admiral, but admiral, warns of potential all-out war with Russia. And I'm not sure what this video is talking about, but I want to go ahead and play a little bit of it. And we do have the right to do that through fair use. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about what fair use is real quick, unfortunately. And, interrupt the lesson because you know how Esau is. So fair use, all right, we actually have to get the actual limitation on fair use. It says, this is right here, limitations on exclusive rights, fair use. Notwithstanding the provisions of sections 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including such as reproduction in copies, phonorecords, or by any other means specified by that section for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, and this falls under comment, news reporting, and teaching, right? This is including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, or research is not an infringement of copyright. In determining whether the use made of a work in any particular case is fair use, the factors to be considered shall include the purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is a commercial nature or is for non-profit educational purposes. We do not make money on this channel. It is non-profit. All right, we do not run ads. We do not, none of that. All right, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and sustainability of the portion used in the relation to the copyright work as a whole, and the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. All right. The fact that a work is unpublished shall not itself bar a finding of fair use if such finding is made upon consideration of all the above factors. So we are allowed to use this under fair use for, teaching, comment, and criticism, okay, and news reporting as if you will. So without any further ado, we are going to go ahead and play this. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we are allowed to use this. We're commenting on it. We're not making money off of it. That's it, okay?
Working. Well, when you say working, are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes.
No chaos, no spectacle, no shutdown.
It's like you for the talking in the background. This is kind of just a bunch of stuff, so it's not just kind of a highlight reel of sorts. So We're not going to go ahead and it's not really giving us what we want to get, so we're just going to continue. So again, reading off the title, NATO admiral warns of potential all-out war with Russia. Who would have guessed, right? So top NATO official Admiral Rob Bauer warned Thursday that a larger war with Russia and other adversaries, look at that, is a real threat amid the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. And you see the United States is making a lot of enemies for itself right now, you know, by helping Ukraine. They're building even, you know, making more enemies out of Russia, all right? By helping Israel, they're making more enemies with Palestine and all of the Middle East. And we all know that how that goes, right? There's just a bunch of issues, and there's already issues, you know, and Kim Jong-un and Putin are cool, all right? They're kicking it, all right? So, you know, and Kim Jong-un and them in China, they really already don't like the West, all right, the United States. So keep that in mind when it comes to these conflicts and these growing tension, all right? You already got Kim Jong-un, all right, which doesn't like the United States. You already got Putin, who doesn't like the United States. You got a lot of the Middle East that doesn't like the United States. And you got China, you know, with Xi Jinping, or however you pronounce his name, that really does not like the United States. You know, the United States is building a lot of high power enemies against themselves, okay? And that's why people are really starting to get worried about World War III. All right, because there's no way that America would win this one. There's just no way. All right, there's no way just by looking at the facts. All right, if you have a brain, and also if you have a spiritual mind about you and you go through the Bible, you'll understand that, you know, the United States is not going to win this one. The only one winning World War III is Yehovah Shemiel Shai. So, going back, it says, top NATO official Admiral Rob Bauer warned Thursday that a larger war with Russia and other adversaries, and that's the big part, other adversaries, is a real threat amid the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Bauer, chair of Western Security Alliance Military Committee, said not everything is going to be hunky-dory in the next 20 years, and I don't even think we have 20 years, all right? So, you know, it's the, this is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, so anything could pop off at any moment now. The guy said, I'm not saying it is going wrong tomorrow, but we have to realize that it's not a given that we are in peace. And that, you know, it's true. I agree with this sentiment. You know, it might not go wrong tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be next month. All right, like this guy says, we have to realize it's not a given that we're in peace. And you know, the America is not at peace at all. Okay, at all. They're preparing for a war. Okay, he said at a press conference in Brussels. I said that's why we have plans. That's why we were preparing for conflict with Russia and the terror groups if it comes to it. So it's not only going to be Russia, it's going to be terror groups alongside Russia. It's going to be China. It's going to be all these different places, man. All these different places. It's not going to be good for America. Bauer emphasized that the security alliance is defensive and does not seek conflict or a wider war. He says, but if they attack us, we have to be ready, he added. Bauer gave the dire warning as NATO announced large-scale exercises next week involving all 31 alliance members, as well as candidate nation Sweden, because Sweden's trying to get in on that NATO, right? It says the military drills, which run until May, are the largest since the end of the Cold War, will involve 90,000 troops and numerous vehicles, aircrafts, and ships spread across Europe. And you got to realize the thing is they're not giving a lot of information to the general citizens. Okay, they're not just running military drills that are the biggest since the end of the Cold War for no reason. All right, just as they're running it for a reason. They know shit's about to pop off. All right, these Edomites, these intelligent ones, these ones sitting in offices, all right, in military offices and high up positions, they know something's about to fucking pop off. They know something's about to pop off, all right, and they know, you know, there's intertalk that we don't know about, all right, people, just regular people on the bottom line, all right, that we don't know about. There's, you know, phone calls that are made, documents that are sent, emails that are sent, reports made, all right, all this intelligence that's on the inside that we have no idea about. And there's no reason, you know, not that there's no reason. There's a reason why they're doing, you know, some of the biggest drills since the end of the the end of the Cold War. You don't just do that because there might be a war. You're preparing because you know some shit's about to pop off. Okay. So it says, when announcing the drills, NATO leaders emphasized this week that it was vital to prepare for conflict and maintain readiness, even as the alliance remains defensive by nature. I thought you said Putin wasn't going to do shit. I thought you said he wasn't going to do shit. Why do you got to prepare? Why do you got to prepare? Remember that when they said, oh, everything's going fine, Russia will be done and not too long. They can't hold out for too long. What happened with that, man? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. What happened? I thought you said that Russia would give out. They wouldn't have any more weapons. They wouldn't have any more tanks. What happened? It was all a fucking morale boost is all it was. All right, they were bullshitting you just like they used to do with the soldiers, just like in World War II, where they bullshitted the United States military soldiers. Bear with me. It's like you. They bullshitted the United States military soldiers, saying that the MG42, it's a type of machine gun that was used at the time by the Germans. It spits a lot of bullets out fast, but it's not really anything to be scared of because it overheats, and then they have to. It takes so much ammo that there's a long time in between and all this. And it was just it was bullshit, man, because those guns were insane, and they mowed down a lot of people. If you ever seen them taking Omaha Beach, and of course there's not the real footage of it like that. No, there probably is some, but if you ever look at the recreational footage, things in like Saving Private Ryan, people are getting mowed down, man. But they said, oh no, it won't be that bad. That they're inaccurate. All right, they're big guns. They're inaccurate. They just spit a lot of bullets, but they're not accurate. It goes everywhere. So blah 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 blah. That's what the United States has always done. They've lied to keep its citizens and its military members, feeling like comfortable, feeling comfortable, when in reality they should have been scared shitless. Okay, so and there was even a Reddit post I saw not too long ago. Reddit, when is Russia? Here it is. So when is Russia going to lose? There's another one. Let's see. There's one. I don't know if this was the one 22 days ago. No, I don't think it was that. There's one. It's like, so when's Russia going to lose? There's a lot of people asking, Russia lose the war. There's one I saw a while ago, and I think I showed it on video. It might have been this one. I don't remember. This was 8 days ago. But people are still talking about it. Basically, the roundabout what it's talking about. The Americans are starting to realize that they were fed a bunch of propaganda because all these people were saying, Russia's gonna run out of munitions. They're gonna run out of battlements or whatever the fuck you want to call them. Artillery. They're gonna run out of vehicles. They're gonna run out of tanks. They're gonna run out of this. They're gonna run out of that. And they didn't really run out of any of those things. So people are now kind of really wondering, like, hey, these guys told us that Russia was going to run out of these things a long time ago, and they're still going. What's going on? We were told that they were going to run out. Why is Russia still fucking these people up? And people are starting to realize that they've been fed propaganda and that this war is bigger than they actually thought it was. They tried to push it under the rug, all right, and try to jump to the next ship. No, Israel and Palestine, and they're doing all that and doing their psyops and painting pictures of who their enemies are, and they don't. And these citizens buy it until the war keeps on going on. They're like, wait a minute, this was already supposed to be over with. Why is it still on? And then you start realizing that the United States is lying. All right. Continuing on, it says the United States is aiding 2 wars in Israel and Ukraine is one of the most volatile global security challenges it has faced in years. Moscow's invasion of Ukraine has sparked concerns that a Russian victory could pave the way for a subsequent attack on NATO countries, and more than likely will. It says while the Biden administration is fending off attacks from Iranian-backed groups across the Middle East, as Washington seeks to contain a wider regional war from spilling out. Bauer said the Western world needs to prepare for a potential larger war, saying such effort would involve a whole of a society approach if the war ever came. What are you saying here? and what he doesn't want to say. Let me finish up. It says, you have to think about this. He said, we're not seeking war as NATO, but we have to be ready for war. That's our job. I like this part right here, this little excerpt, because what he says right here is if you use your super secret decoder tool that you got in your box of cereal this morning, you'll be able to see what actually happened here. Bauer said the Western world needs to prepare for a potential larger war, saying such an effort would involve a whole of society approach if the war ever came. Whole of society, larger war, and would involve a whole of a society. What does that mean? That means multiple people. That means a large war with multiple people and multiple nations. What is it called when there's a large war with multiple people and multiple nations? That's called a world war. How many world wars have we had? 2. So if this happens again, what would it be called? World War III. What should they be preparing for? World War III. What are they preparing for? World War III. Okay? It's right here. It's right in front of your eyes, and these people don't want to believe it, man. They don't want to believe it. So they're giving you right here, all right, and they're telling you how it is, all right. And the prophets have been telling you for a long time. They've been sent by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The elders and apostles, great millstone. Hey, wars, rumors of wars, wars, rumors of wars, wars, rumors of wars. Just as because that's what Yahushua told his disciples. And his disciples, what do they have? They have, they have the word of Yahushua, so they understand what he said, so they can tell it to other people. What is that called? It's called prophesying. Hey, this is what Yahushua said. This is what's going to happen. Going back in the book of Matthew. All right, well, and here it's, Matthew 24. We'll get that in a minute. We're actually going to get Jeremiah 28:8. Which reads, Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both of many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Now, how did the prophets get this information? They didn't just come up with them by themselves. All right, it was through prophecy, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, through things that was given to them through scripture, all right, and through word, all right. For example, if you go to Matthew 24, we're going to actually start up from 1, not from 6. I had it from 6, but we're going to actually just start up from 1. It says, Matthew 24:1. We'll read the whole matter, right? It says, Matthew 24:1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. So Yahushua was there, and so was his disciples. Verse 2, and Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So he said to his disciples, you see all these things are all going to go away. Verse 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? So they said, Yahushua, please tell us, how are we going to know, when you're coming back, and when the end of the world is? How are we going to know? Verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, right here, continuing on, these are the prophecies that he gave the disciples, and now we have them written down, all right, on paper, all right, through the Bible, all right, and the prophets can go back and teach these things, all right, and prophesy these things as they have, and you people didn't listen, all right. The prophets have prophesied of war, of evil, of pestilence. You never listened. Remember when 2019, 2020 happened? All right, you didn't believe it, but it was prophesied. All right, remember when war was prophesied and you said, oh no, that's not going to happen. Remember that? Yeah, I bet you don't. All right, because you don't want to. You don't want to remember it. Okay. Right before the outbreak of the apostles and the elders and brothers were all talking about it. We're all talking about it before it even happened, and then it happened. Boom. All right. So how was all this stuff known? Because Yahushua let his people know. Continuing on, verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And these are all the prophecies. These are the signs that he gave them. Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Stop. So false anointeds, false Hamashiachs. All right, there's going to be people that are going to be calling themselves, the chosen, all right, or the anointed, and they're not going to be the anointed. They're going to be liars. So there's one. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So these things have to happen, but the end's not yet. There's going to be wars and rumors of wars. That's one of the signs. Number 3, For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. I'm saying 3, not as in line with the verse, but as in line with the prophecies. How many prophecies he gave us. There's many. But I'm going to go back to the verse so not to confuse people. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So he said that there's going to be famines, pestilences, earthquakes, diverse places. There's going to be nation rising against nation and kingdom against kingdom. What does that mean? That's similar with war. You're going to have, interrelationship issues between the nations, all right, between Asia and the United States and the Middle East and Europe, and there's going to be nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom, China against so and so, Russia against so and so. That's kingdom against kingdom. That's nation against nation. All right. And there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. Right. This is all prophesied. All right, and given to us by Yahweh Shai. All right, and we have it right here to tell you. And there will be famines and pestilences and earthquakes. We're seeing these things on a smaller scale now, but it's going to heat up and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Those wars and rumors of wars are going to turn into wars. All right, that the pestilences and famines are going to get even bigger. All right, they're already talking about disease X. All right, and the earthquakes, while we have them now, they're going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. All right, verse 8 says what? All these are the beginning of sorrows. Verse 9, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So that's another thing that is yet to come. There's going to be some of the people in this truth are going to be martyred, all right, and they're going to die for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's sake, which is a beautiful way to go, all right, and it basically solidifies your way into, basically getting a VIP pass, all right. You get to be up in those chariots, all right, with Yahweh Shai watching the downfall of Babylon. Okay, doesn't mean you're, a 2/3 or anything like that. If you die for the truth, that's an excellent way to go. That's called martyrdom, right? Verse 10, it says, and then many shall be offended and betray one another and shall hate one another. That's another thing. In these FEMA camps, come out. All right, your own family, your own brothers, your own sisters, your own wife, your own girlfriends, all right, your own children will be like, yeah, get him, It's just like, and they really, Esau does a lot of this foreshadowing. They tell you what they're going to do before they're going to do it. It's just like a post that I want to touch on soon. And I'll give a little sneak peek. It was a post by Raleigh La Yasharali. Yahweh Shai is coming back, 144,000. It's this post right somewhere in here. Let me find it right here. Okay, you can pause it and read it if you want, but Lord willing, if the Spirit told me, I want to touch a lesson on it. And this is basically foreshadowing of what they're going to do and what they did do. Okay, and it's the same thing that they did, with this situation. All right, with a lot of the things in Matthew 24:1. All right, notably verse 10, talking about these people betraying one another and hating one another. All right, and there's another scripture, a man's enemies shall be, let's see if we can get it, of his own household. It's right here. This is Matthew 10 and 36. It says, and a man, this is red letter, so it's Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. All right, so these people betraying one another, and you saw back with Phaedra, all right, with The Last of Us, if you ever watched that. If you haven't watched The Last of Us, I do recommend watching it. There is some, unfortunately, a bit of homosexuality in it, as there was in the game. All right, and they're gonna do season 2, and there will be, he/she stuff. All right, to warn you. All right, because I heard about it in the video game, and they're basically following the video game. And the next season's basically, I believe, going to be following, The Last of Us Part 2, which in that, there was some, transformerism. Okay, but if you look about Phaedra, people were selling people out, giving people over to Phaedra. Which, if you look up Phaedra, all right, and you look at it, and you go and look up FEMA, all right, well, boy, whoa, what is that? Oh no, looks a little familiar, doesn't it now? Because that's what it's based off of, all right, and it's based off of, look, Phaedra, your rights while in detention, you're entitled to a lawyer, medical attention, family visit, food, and clothing, and people would sell people out to Phaedra to get them in these camps, all right, so they could get food, so they could get medicine, so they could get the things that they need, all right, and then they would be lied to, and then the other people would be, killed, or, however it was, then terrible things would be happen to them, okay, and this is all foreshadowing, man. This is all foreshadowing. This is all what Esau is doing, all right, to let you know what they're doing before they're going to do it, You know, they put all this in there. Why are they revealing themselves? Because they get a kick off of it. It's like a fucking fetish for them, man. You know? You go back to verse 10, Matthew 24 and 10. Slakia. Verse 10, and many shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And they show that in things like The Last of Us. They show that in shows. A lot of these different things are shown, and it's because, you know, it's prophesied that it's going to happen within the Bible. And these Edomites, you know, they don't have a choice. They have to, you know, they're puppets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He pulls those strings, all right, and they do what he wants them to do. They think they have free will, but they don't. They have the illusion of free will, just as we do, okay? And they think they can do something, but if the Lord doesn't want them to do it, they're not going to do it, okay? The Lord just allows them to get away with certain things for the punishment of the people of this world, right? Verse 11, we already see this happening in a vast number. Verse 11, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive many, right? We're seeing that. Verse 12, we're seeing this a ton. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You're seeing, you know, people delete themselves and delete their family members. All right, you're seeing, people, go and delete their family members and then delete themselves. All right, they call it a murder. You know what? All right. You see it happening more and more and more. You see women, shooting their young ones, or killing them, or burning them, or drowning them. Right? You're seeing it. You see it all over the place. All right. The women killing their own children, the men killing their own children. You know, somebody says, hey, you know, stop doing this, and then someone stabs them to death, or stabs them in the neck, shoots them in the face. All right, throws them in front of a vehicle, runs them over with their car. Right? You're seeing it. All right, you're seeing it. Verse 12 again. And because iniquity shall abound, what is iniquity? Sin upon sin, stacked upon stacked upon stacked upon stacked upon stacked upon stacked, right? And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. People no longer care about your life. They don't think about what life is. They don't think about that, how, you know, life is, you know, you wake up, all right, and you have consciousness, and then you have a family to go home to. They don't give a single shit about you. They don't give a fuck if you have a family. Don't care if you got a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a newborn on the way. They don't care if, you know, your wife is bedridden and you're the only person that can take care of her, and without you she would die. They do not give a single shit. They'll point a gun to you and blow your fucking brains out and not think twice. They do not care, all right, because iniquity is at an all-time high, man. It's wicked out here, and it's getting worse. All right, so verse 12 once again, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Verse 13, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. I gotta actually continue on. It says, verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. And what is happening currently right now? The gospel is going out all across the world. You know, you got GMS Australia, you got, you know, GMS Bahamas, you got, you know, brothers over in England, all right, and so on and so forth. All right, so you got you all over the place, man, all over the place. Okay, and all of the YouTube goes everywhere. All right, unless it's from one of those countries that's been banned. All right, so there you go, man. So that's the state that the world's in right now. Okay, and you people refuse to believe it. You don't want to believe it. Oh, say it ain't so, right? But that's how it is, man. That's how it is. So, and what if you don't believe that's the case? What if you don't believe there's going to be a World War III? What if you don't believe the scriptures? What if you believe the Bible was just a book that was invented by the white man and that it's not true at all? All right. What if you think that we're making this stuff up? What if you think that this or that? What if you think whatever you want and you don't believe? Well, Romans 3:3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Yahweh forbid. Yea, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So if you don't believe, tough titty, said the kitty when the milk went dry. Nobody gives a shit. All right, it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna stop the truth. We're not gonna pause. Oh shit, wait. Someone said they don't believe. Oh man, wrap it up. Take your Bibles and go home, everyone. No, you not believing does not do a single thing against the ministry. It's not going to stop people teaching. It's not going to stop people. It's not going to stop Yahushai from coming back. It's not going to stop these prophecies from unfolding. It's not going to stop anything. It's not going to do jack shit. It's not going to do any bit of good. It's just going to lead you to destruction. It doesn't matter if you don't believe. What if you don't believe? So what? All right? It's not going to make the faith of the Most High without effect. You're not going to make these prophecies stop in their place. It's not going to happen. It's still going to roll out. You're still going to be destroyed. World War III is still going to happen. Yahushua is still going to come back and tear this place up. You're still going to go into slavery, and you're still going to have big brown men ruling over you. There's nothing you can do, say, squirm, or wiggle your way out of this. You can't do it. You can't do it. That's how it works. And the only thing that can protect you is you going la 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 la, you know, with your fucking 2 fingers plugged in your ears, la la la, I can't hear you, la 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 la, you know, like a fucking kid that doesn't want to hear something. That's the only thing that could protect you from hearing this at the time being, okay? And that's just a temporal protection from being able to hear. You can click off the video, you can go somewhere else, you can try to hide, but guess what? At the end of the day, you can hide yourself. You can close your eyes from the news. You can hide your ears from, you know, hearing this truth. But at the end of the day, when buildings start crumbling down, you start fucking, you know, you're gonna be plugging your ears. But when you hear those nuke sounds, you're not gonna be able to plug your ears over that. You're gonna be hearing them. You're gonna see bombs going off and fucking, you know, militant groups in the street. You know, you're fucking see, you know, it's gonna look like a fucking war zone, all right, in America, and you're not gonna be able to close your eyes or plug your ears to that. Okay, try to plug your ears when bombs and gunshots are going off. Not gonna work. You know, you better have your fucking eyes open, or one of those buildings and you're gonna have rubble that's gonna come down and crumble on top of you and kill you. You better have your eyes open so you can run and find a place to hide, and then run to another place and hide, and run to another place and hide, and do all that hiding for nothing, because at the end of the day, Yahushua knows exactly where you are, and he's gonna get, you know, he's gonna tear that ass up, man. He's gonna mess you up, and he doesn't, you know, you can try to hide, build bunkers, whatever. It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work. All right, and we know you Edomites especially are scared as fuck. You're shaking in your boots. You got people like Rick Ross. He's not an Edomite that I know of. You got people like Rick Ross, all these, you know, these big celebrities that are building bunkers now. They're scared, man. They're scared. Why? Because they know some shit's about to pop off, you know? So, hey, you know, and we have it through the Bible that there's going to be some terrible things going down, but you don't want to believe it. And again, what if you don't want to believe? Oh, well, cool, moving on. All right, this is not recessed learning, okay? We're not going to hold back the class. All right, so I still don't get it. Well, I guess you might not meant to get it then. Revelation 8 and 13. And I beheld and heard an angel. This is a prophecy, right? Revelation 8 and 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels which are yet to sound." All right, so woe, woe, woe. Okay, so these woes, what is woe? All right, what is woe? A condition of deep suffering from misfortune, affliction, or grief. Boom. Okay, so woe, woe, woe. Grief, grief, grief. Destruction, destruction, destruction. Woe really means destruction. All right, and this is referring to world wars. All right, and there are 3 woes here, which is referring to 3 world wars. You either believe it or you don't. You don't believe it? Hey, that's fine. You believe it? Hey, even better. Okay, now we had the first woe that was prophesied. You know, it's already come to pass, right? So, you know, the prophecy of woe, woe, woe is that there will be, it's prophesied that there will be 3 world wars. We are already through 2 of them. All right, that means if the first one came to pass, the second one came to pass, and these were prophecies, the third one's coming to pass. You can't stop it. It's already activated. You know, it's already you know, flowing down the hill. The water's rushing down the hill. You can't build a dam now. All right, it's gonna keep flowing and keep flowing, and it's gonna y'all gonna get drowned out. All right, and that's how it's gonna go. Revelation 9 and 12. 1 woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. Now, I messed up. I had a messed up with my speech. Revelation 9 and 12. 1 woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. Now, if you read up, like in verse 9, you can get verse 9. It says, and you know, this requires faith, all right, and understanding, and the Holy Spirit to be dealing with you to understand it in the first place. A lot of you will just write it off, but that's what it's talking about. Verse 9, all right, this is Revelation chapter 9 and 9. It says, "And they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sounds of their wings was the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle." Now, this is a World War I fighter plane. Okay, is what it's referring to, is a World War I fighter plane. You know how they sound, just like that. And you got to realize at the time they didn't have planes. So if you had to describe, with things that you had around you, that sound flying through the air, how would you describe it? Like many horses galloping, right? The sound of chariots of many horses running to battle, right? That's what it would sound like. And we've done the example of putting on, multiple clips of horses running, and it sounds very, very similar. All right, breastplates of iron, right? Now there's another thing down here. It says, verse 10, and they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. Okay, now if you go over here and look, all right, they had things called tail gunners. All right, they had a thing called a tail gunner. They would sit right back here. You'd have to have the right, plane for it. You could look up tail gunner. And they would sit in the back of the tail, like that. All right, and they would gun. All right, that was the tail gunner. So they had stings in their tails. All right, they had stings in their tails to hurt men 5 months. All right, to hurt men 5 months. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. Okay, that's what it's speaking of. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. All right, can't force feed it to you. All right, this isn't Gerber. All right, we're not gonna hold you back and force feed it to you. This is how it goes. This is no. You either get it and you don't. You either get it or you get it, or you don't and you don't. That's how it works, man. That's how it works. So continuing on, and this is how it was described to us by our apostles. We didn't need to be held back. We didn't need to have to hold it makes sense. Once you have the Spirit working with you, it makes sense. You hear it and you said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, and then you move on. You don't wait a minute. Try to find different things with it, because that's what you people do, man. Anyway, it can't be true. It's true. All right, moving on. Revelation 11 and 14. So the first woe was past, right? Boom. Now Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the second woe is done now. All right, and the third woe cometh quickly. Right. So, dang it. So now we have this third woe, all right, that we're waiting on, all right. So and it comes quickly, all right. We're waiting, okay, and we're waiting. That's what we're waiting for, and it's looking like it's right around the corner. So keep that in mind, all right. Don't want to keep on saying keep that in mind. It's been an issue lately, all right. So. The third woe cometh quickly. That's what we're waiting for. It looks like it's on its way. All these articles, people freaked out, people all scared, wars and rumors of wars. Hey, it's obvious, but you just don't want to believe it. This is Revelation 6 and 14, and this is how World War III goes. All right, and this is a future prophecy, and you guys are really not gonna like this one. Revelation 6 and 14 says, "And the heaven." Let me see if I want to read up. It says, we'll read up. We'll read up from 12. It says, verse 12, Revelation 6 and 12, "And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake." Boom, a great earthquake happened. "And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood." Okay, so the sky was blackened out. A great earthquake. Boom! The sky was blackened out. Then what happened? "And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth." All right, these are ICBMs, all right, intercontinental ballistic missiles. "Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll." "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together." "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places." Heaven departed as a scroll. Heaven departed as a scroll. Look at that, okay? "And every mountain and island were moved out of their places." What happened after that? What happened? What was happening? "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains." See it? See it? Read over again. Revelation 6 and 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and the rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the Lamb. Slakia. And hide us from the... Let me start over. Revelation 6 and 16. I got ahead of myself. Got excited. And said, Revelation 6 and 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? They're going to be fucking afraid and scared shitless, and they're going to go do what? They're going to hide themselves in bunkers. They're going to hide themselves in the clefts of the rock. No, not the clefts of the rock, but, you know, the rocks and mountains and you know, please, oh, I hope we get away from it. I hope we get away from it. Not going to work. Not going to work. All right. And finally, Isaiah 34 and 4. All right. Isaiah 34 and 4. Same vein, right? And this one goes out to you, Esau. Isaiah 34 and 4. It reads, And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is made the sword of the Lord is filled with blood, and it is the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. World War III is not a possibility. It's a... I'm just going to change it to certainty. How do you spell that? I guess I did spell it right. So... there we go. World War III is not a possibility. It's a certainty. All right, and it's prophesied, all right, within the Bible. All right, you can't get out of it. You can't wiggle your way out of it. Can't do nothing, man. That's just the way it goes. All right, that is the way it goes. So, hey, got that to look forward to. All right, so you better get on the right, the right side. All right, and be, you know, if you're an Israelite, be getting right with the Lord, because Esau is not going to be able to help you out of this one. All right, World War III is not a possibility. It's a certainty. With that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashir Makak. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.